Okay, seriously, I just came up here to do some yoga with the ocean by myself, and you're mocking me, I think, and that's really rude, actually. So, you know what? I'm gonna leave because I just wanted some peace and quiet, so I'll be going. People in this town just think because they're beautiful, they can get away with anything. Damn. So, do you come here often, or? You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the Maserati MC20. That is a long-billed curlew. It's a shorebird that shoves that long beak down into the sand to grab little crabs and morsels of things. And I've actually noticed that the beak comes in all different lengths and curves, which I've been assured has absolutely nothing to do with attracting a mate. Anyway, the point is that it's disappearing because of things like habitat loss and climate change, you know, the usual stuff. So when a brand like Maserati, who's known for big, shouty engines and racing, was designing a brand new supercar, even they needed to design it in a way that it could be an EV, and they did. But they also developed a brand new gasoline engine for it in an era when manufacturers are ceasing all development of internal combustion engines. Well, look at that one. It's got like a 4-inch beak. That's plenty long enough, right? Right?
So, they used F1 technology, pre-chamber combustion. That means each cylinder has another little chamber with its own spark plug. So, when that chamber fills up on the compression stroke, the spark plug fires flames into the main combustion chamber, causing total combustion of all vapor. Not technology you often get in a road car. And one of the advantages of that is better fuel economy. They say that this can do 9 litres per 100 kilometres on the highway. The other advantage to that technology is that it makes the Maserati MC20 fast. And 30 horsepower from a 3-litre V6. 2.9 seconds to 60 miles an hour. It's ridiculous all the time.
That also means that at least until the new V6 Ferrari lands, Maserati has built the highest specific output V6 to ever power a road car. No small feat.
James, you Yeah, safety! I will say that the car doesn't feel like it's built for that level of power. There's a lack of confidence. It feels like it's ripping itself apart with all of that torque. I mean, we're talking serious numbers. On throttle, the car, especially in sport mode, bucks. It enters this kind of like harmonic that we've only really experienced at very low speeds in a DCT, where your foot and the car buck to the point where it perpetuates itself at low revs and high load on the throttle. That's when it starts to interfere, and you don't feel that safe, to be honest. The other downside of this car is that that six-cylinder sounds quite At low revs, it sounds a bit like a broken diesel. However, keep it high in the revs and come off the throttle with the window open, and you get some very cool turbo sounds. I feel like I'm in a Rude Boy Focus RS, except Focus RSs, while they might share a similar colour to this, don't look like this. Maserati have been teasing us for years with the Maserati birdcage with this sort of shape. Finally we're in a Maserati that is as beautiful as the name it represents.
Just look at it. Yeah, this one has some expensive options on it, like the $10,000 carbon ceramic brakes or that $5,000 carbon fiber engine cover, which altogether makes this a $250,000 car. But it is a $250,000 piece of mid-engined rear-wheel drive supercar art as well. I mean, talk about a promenade queen. In fact, rolling down the promenade is something that the MC20 does very well. The ride on the road is great, the seats are comfortable. Also on the list of good things, the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission is fantastic. Fast and aggressive when you want it to be, and smooth and refined when you just want to cruise.
So, to recap, it might not sound very good, and it might not like its own power. But that engine is insane.
James is right. The Nettuno engine, or Neptune engine, get it because he holds a trident, pretty cool, is a perfect example of modern performance engineering. More than enough power to make you think that someone slipped some contraband into your morning coffee, and just enough efficiency to keep the shorebirds happy. And as James said, because of the violent way it shoves its almost 29 psi of boost into the cylinders, the power really does feel a bit insane. But nowadays, that's not all we're looking for.
It's not insane power that impresses us the most. It's when a manufacturer can make a car fun at any speed. This isn't that. It's not, because as James was mentioning, at kind of low speed, half revs, it feels like it's shaking itself to pieces. I don't know what's going on, but God forbid you put it in sport mode. That's simply not possible. You have to put it in sport mode, then select the dampers into soft. Otherwise, it's barely drivable on a road like this. And it does feel like the suspension can't handle the boost that it creates. And this is a carbon tub, so the car itself is incredibly stiff. But I kind of wish they put some better dampers in, or matched the dampers to the springs a little bit better, because sometimes it feels like it can barely put its power down. And it feels like the front and the rear end are skipping around all over the place like that. The steering is only good when you're really putting weight into the front end. Otherwise, it's too light.
So it's clear that the MC20 is a bit of a mixed bag in the driving department. However, over the course of a couple days with this car, I discovered that as you drive it faster and you spend more time near the 8,000 RPM red line, the car settles in its own scary way.
And you start to feel the suspension, you start to feel the road. I can feel the stiffness in the chassis. Oh my God, it's quick. The brake pedal has a lot of power, but you have to really lay into it. It doesn't have a good bite. When you really scrub speed, you can feel how light the car is. You can feel the tires doing the work under braking. And I was running up here with James, who was in a Ferrari F8. We were going quick, and I was having the best time keeping up with him. I just started to get this flow going, but I had to be going really, really quick. And the thing is that going that quick in a car like this, which it'll do easily, is scary. Sometimes it's unpredictable. The power comes on in weird lumps sometimes, and other times it's smooth. Sometimes the suspension deals with bumps the way you think they're going to, and then sometimes it doesn't. But all of these things packaged together, there is a really good supercar in here. A really good supercar. You just have to look for it. Maybe too hard. And all the time you're spending looking for it, you're just going through sets of underwear. Because this thing's terrifying. It's terrifying in the good old-fashioned supercar way. And honestly, despite all its flaws out here, I think I really love this thing. I actually really love driving it. It isn't perfect, but how do I describe it? There's two types of people in the world when it comes to supercars. Are you the person that likes the Porsche 911 Turbo, which is perfect in every way, fast as hell, and incredibly sorted and refined? Or are you the type of person that really likes the golden era of supercars, when they were ridiculous and dangerous and edgy? Because that's kind of where this slots in. I think I know which one I am. Which one are you? Okay. Which one are you?
Which one am I?
Yeah.
I'm James. You're Tom.
Oh, right, I only told them. I was talking about, like, this is like super old school, danger, crazy supercar. Are
okay.
you the type of person that likes that?
Hey.
Or are you a Porsche 911 person?
I'm a Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive person. In fact, just normal Huracan
Good
Evo.
point, yeah.
Screaming V10.
No, listen, I
musical
like-
instrument at your fingertips.
Yeah. But you can add a $17,000 paint to a Huracan,
Yes, you can.
right?
Yes.
And this has this paint.
It's like a gloss metallic, sparkles in the sun.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird because when it's in the shade, it looks like a flat paint.
Yeah.
But as soon as the sun hits it, you see there actually is metallic. It's very subtle. Anyway.
Listen, I'm glad that they exist. It's a completely different flavour to the Huracan and
Yep.
the 911.
Yep.
I don't want a car to be one seat difference or one slightly,
Okay.
the PDK is slightly, I don't
Yeah,
care. The
yeah.
fact that it's such a different flavour means I'm really glad it exists. And look at the way, I mean, Huracan doesn't do that.
No, very few cars do that.
What's
And
the value of that? Questionable.
I bet it doesn't.
Desirability.
It's so cool.
It's cool. It's got
And,
great curb
like,
appeal.
come look at it from right here, okay? This is so quintessentially Maserati.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's got the grille, it's got the headlights, it's got the shape. The styling of this is so cool.
Yeah, it's perfect. And
It's literally
The
perfect.
giant I love the giant trident.
I know you like the Trident, you like the Trident.
Yeah, it's
And
cool.
okay, so this is in the press release. This is what they say. The black parts along the bottom,
Yeah.
that's for engineering and aero.
Okay.
The rest of it, where the color is for styling. So literally, at some point, and a designer said to an engineer, "This part of the car is for the design. You only get this much." That's it. That's all I get. Got the air going in here, and it comes out there, and it goes along. Whatever. It seems like this is so Italian. Styling
Yes.
engineering.
This car does kind of match that ratio. It feels styled.
It feels very much prioritized styling. Absolutely, yes. But listen, it's not all styling. There's practicality.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a frunk.
There's a frunk.
There is a frunk.
You want to see this frunk? If this has a frunk, I've got a frunk. Look at this thing.
What does that even mean? No, it's totally, completely usable. This is where you keep the book. Where else would you keep the book that has the information in it to how to operate the car?
That's it. That's all you get. That's all the space you get.
Yeah.
But it does have a trunk as well. So
It has a trunk, yeah.
any excuse to open that door again.
Yeah.
You have to hold it down for ages, by the way.
Why? Are you still, oh geez, there it goes.
Yeah. Or it's a double click. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
That's a trunk. You can change a baby in there.
What? First thing?
I haven't had fatherhood yet. When I get there.
Okay. Look how low the engine is. I love that. It's
Neptune.
like, it's, yeah, Nettuno. It's way down there. And one more thing I want to point out back here. What is that?
This is for a game of tag. You grab this and then they've lost.
It's like flag football. What is it? It just seems like the most they were reluctantly, they had to follow regulations. So at the dealership at the last minute, they're like, oh, I need to tie this on.
Just a bit. Anyone got a shoelace?
Yeah, it's literally, it's like an overhand knot. It's so funny. Anyway, I think this is one of the most beautiful cars on sale right now.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
It is stunning.
It's even got, even on here, it's got the Maserati's like trident symbol in there.
What do you mean?
This is a trident. It's Maserati, like these holes.
Oh, yeah. That's actually really cool.
It's purposeful. Even the way this camera is integrated, which is the camera for the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks part of the design.
No, everything about it seems intentional. Everything about it is so styling first, which I love. Can we talk about the interior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
We get to open both the doors. Ready? We're open at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Ah. Hopefully we'll play some sort of sound. Easy to get into, carbon top.
This is actually the only car that I don't kick. I'm bad for kicking doors.
You kick doors just when you're feeling angry.
I wear these big awesome boots.
No
respect. My death dealer boots, right?
Wear the
Slave
boots.
vampires.
Don't let the boots wear you.
Yeah.
You kick everything. Anyway, we are in here, and from inside.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the fan down a little bit here, so we go into the comfort. It's right. It's here.
Just hit that. Just hit that.
Yeah, you hit that, and then there's the. It's easy to use. I swear.
Yeah. Well, people have pointed out that this is kind of like a.
There we go.
I think this is available in base Fiats, but it works.
No, this infotainment is great. I wish the climate was.
They don't have a trident there.
No, that's
there you go.
Special engineering.
Yeah.
No, like this is fine. The CarPlay is quick. It connects well. I've never had an issue with it. Sound system's fine. Livability of that is perfectly usable.
I agree, yeah. But unlike the exterior, this isn't that styled. This is not a very styled piece of interior. It's just functional. Because I guess they just made that decision.
Yeah, in some ways I agree. I think that this bit down here is, you get this really cool carbon fiber kind of center console here. And you have the feeling of being in a supercar because of the wheel well, so your feet are over a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
So it's cool that way. Seats are actually very comfortable, and there's a lot of headroom.
There is a lot of headroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the helmet that you're going to wear
at the track.
When you never track this.
I'm going to track this. I'm going to rip it. It'll be so fun.
Not today.
So steering wheel from a Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio.
Oh, is it?
Well, look at it. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same buttons, right? It's a bit thicker, carbon fiber, the whole thing.
Yeah. This is not a $200,000 feeling interior. This feels like the C8 in some ways.
I don't know if I fully agree.
Just this bit here does. I really like this button.
Yeah,
this scroll
the
wheel.
huge paddles and listen. If we hadn't been in a lot of Stellantis FCA vehicles,
Right.
then this would feel that. But since I know that these paddles come on a base Giulia, it takes away from the Maserati a little bit.
Or just even thinking about like the Huracan. I guess the R8's quite simple. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. They've gone simple. They got the 2 screens. This gauge cluster's nice. You know, it does the job.
It's cool. It's cool. And we have this mirror because you can't see out the back. It's not a thing.
No.
So you get this mirror, which is dumb because your eyes are focused way down on the road, and in a normal mirror, you would just switch that plane of focus to the mirror and look behind you. But this, you have to like refocus your eyes.
You do have the choice. But the choice is...
The choice is, there is no choice.
Yeah.
They give that to you just for fun, I think, right? So you got to keep that on.
No, I think, as you said, like it's comfortable, the seats are comfortable.
Yep.
That mixed with the ride.
Lots of space, too, for the passenger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, listen, I love it in here. I think I agree it's not as special feeling as a Huracan or whatever, but it is cool, and it says MC20 right there with an Italian flag, so what more do you want, really? Listen, James, the doors go up.
They do, and down.
Yeah, but
Not left and right.
importantly, they go up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, I think it's cool. This is a really, really cool car. Flawed,
Very flawed.
but cool. Yes.
Cool but flawed isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some of the best things are cool but flawed. Look at Batman, or the Concorde, or dinosaurs.
Okay, I get Batman and Concorde, James, but what's wrong with dinosaurs?
Small hands, innit? T-Rexes, they can't pick up stuff.
Okay, anyway. The MC20 for me was an interesting one. Just because of the nature of this filming week, I ended up putting hundreds of miles on this car, and I found that every mile I spent with it, I learned something new about it. A better way to drive it, a different strategy for managing all its power, or a different approach to a certain corner. It's actually one of the few cars in a long time that I felt like I developed a relationship with. By the end, I was really sad to see it go. But thankfully, at least watching it roll away is no hardship.
No doubt, it is beautiful, and it's really quick. But unlike Thomas, for me, the MC20 feels like a slightly incomplete assignment. Between the overly light steering, the underwhelming sound, and the sometimes awkward power delivery, I can't help but think it's just not quite there yet, especially for its price. But hey, it's not alone. The first Huracan needed some love, and look at it now. The Evo is astonishingly good, and costs the same as this. But the MC20 does have the bones to be one of the greats. They just need to keep working on it. Until then, Thomas can drive it, and I'm just as happy admiring it from the outside. Thanks for watching.
Action. James, you coming?
Oh, yes I am. No, don't like that.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, do it again.
You ready?
How you doing?